Hey there, ready to unlock some timeless wisdom.
I am always up for that.
Today, we are diving deep into Sun Tzu's The Art of War.
Oh, a classic.
Now, I know what you might be thinking.
Yeah.
Military strategy, ancient battles.
Yeah.
Does this really apply to me?
Right.
Trust me, it does. Now, we're working with Thomas Cleary's translation, which really brings Sun Tzu's ideas to life.
Just looking forward to this.
Get ready to discover how these ancient principles are surprisingly relevant to your life in the 21st century.
Okay.
Whether you're facing a tough negotiation, navigating a tricky relationship, or just trying to understand the world around you.
The world definitely needs some understanding.
That's the beauty of Sun Tzu's work.
What's that?
It's about so much more than just warfare.
I like that.
It's about strategy, understanding human nature, and outmaneuvering your opponents.
Outmaneuvering. So not always about brute force.
Exactly.
Interesting. And
Sun Tzu was all about leading by example.
tell me more.
Take this almost comical story about him training the king's concubines. So, you see, the king hired Sun Tzu to whip his army into shape. But to prove his methods, Sun Tzu decided to start with, well, the king's concubines.
An interesting tactic. What happened?
Definitely an unconventional approach.
Yeah, you could say that again.
It highlights Sun Tzu's emphasis on discipline and the importance of a unified command structure, even in unexpected scenario. Okay, I'm intrigued. So picture this. Sun Tzu is trying to teach these women basic military formation,
Let's go, right?
clearly explaining and demonstrating the commands for right turn and left turn. Sounds straightforward enough, right?
Right. So it's pretty simple.
You'd think so? But this is where it gets interesting.
Oh, right.
Exactly. Instead of following instructions, the concubines just burst out laughing.
Oh, no.
Now, a lesser leader might have blamed the women for not taking things seriously.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
But Sun Tzu used this as a teaching moment. He realized that if his instructions weren't crystal clear, it was on him as the leader to figure out why.
Wow. So what did he do?
It's a powerful reminder for all of us, yet no matter what our battlefield is, our
Battlefield. What do you mean?
clear communication, understanding your audience, and taking responsibility for the outcome, those are timeless leadership principles.
You're right.
And here's where Sun Tzu takes it a step further. How? Despite the king's pleas to go easy on his beloved concubines, Sun Tzu makes an example of those who disobeyed, proving that discipline and order were non-negotiable no matter who you were.
So no one gets special treatment, not even the king's concubines.
That decisive action set the tone for his entire career.
Wow, that's intense.
Sun Tzu knew that to achieve victory, whether on a battlefield or in the boardroom, a disciplined and unified approach was essential.
Makes sense.
This brings us to what's arguably Sun Tzu's most powerful idea, the idea of winning without fighting.
Winning without fight. Okay, now you've got me really interested.
He emphasizes that true victory lies in skillful planning, deep knowledge of your enemy and yourself, and of course, strategically choosing your battles.
Choosing your battles. I like that. So how does that work exactly?
He understood that brute force alone is rarely the answer. True mastery lies in avoiding unnecessary conflict altogether, achieving your objectives through careful planning and strategic maneuvering.
Interesting. So it's more about being smart and strategic than just being powerful.
Right. It's about thinking ahead, knowing the ground, and picking your fights carefully. Just like Sun Tzu did with the king's concubines.
Yeah. Who knew those concubines would be such a powerful example? I guess that's Sun Tzu for you. Finding wisdom in the most unexpected places.
So we've talked about discipline, preparation, choosing your battles. But Sun Tzu has another ace up his sleeve.
Oh, what's that?
Deception.
Deception.
Now, before you think we're advocating for lying or cheating, it's not about.
Okay, good to know. I was about to say.
Right.
So what does Sun Tzu mean by deception then?
Sun Tzu describes deception as controlling the information your opponent has access to,
I see.
influencing their perception of your strengths and weaknesses. It's about being strategic with what you reveal and what you keep hidden.
So it's less about outright trickery and more about strategically managing information.
Exactly. Think of it like a poker game.
The poker game, huh?
You don't show your opponents your hand, do you? You use your expressions, your bets, even the way you hold yourself.
Right. To project confidence or uncertainty.
To project confidence and uncertainty at just the right moment.
I get it. It's about shaping their perception of your position.
Yes.
Makes sense.
It makes me think of those moments in negotiations.
Growl, tell me more about that.
Even everyday ones, where revealing too much too soon could put you at a disadvantage. Holding back a little, not showing all your cards right away, can actually give you more leverage.
Precisely. And Sun Tzu provides a brilliant example of this in action. Oh.
What's that?
With the story of Sun Pin and Peng Wan,
Who are they?
two rival military strategists. Sun Pin, knowing he was being pursued by Peng Wan's army, cleverly used deception to outmaneuver his opponent.
How so?
He instructed his troops to gradually reduce the number of campfires they lit each night.
Creating the illusion that his forces were dwindling.
Exactly. Peng Wan, seeing the diminishing campfires, assumed Sun Pin's troops were deserting and grew overconfident, rushing into a trap that ultimately led to his defeat.
Wow. Talk about a strategic use of smoke and mirrors. But beyond grand military tactics, I could see how this idea of calculated revelation applies to so many areas of life.
Absolutely. Whether it's a business deal where you strategically reveal information to gain an advantage, or even a job interview where you highlight certain skills and experiences while downplaying others, understanding the power of perception is crucial.
It seems like Sun Tzu is saying that knowledge isn't enough.
You need something more.
It's how you use it, how you wield it that truly gives you the upper hand.
It's not what you know, it's how you use it.
Exactly. I like that. And this mastery of information extends beyond just your opponent. Sun Tzu also emphasizes the importance of knowing yourself.
Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more.
Recognizing your own strengths and weaknesses. In fact, he warns against 5 dangerous faults of a general: recklessness, cowardice, hasty temper, sensitivity to slander, and overprotectiveness.
5 faults.
These feel surprisingly relevant even for us non-generals.
Really?
I mean, haven't we all fallen prey to one of these at some time?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, those sound pretty familiar. So what does Sun Tzu say about them?
Yeah, it's like Sun Tzu saying that self-awareness is just as important as strategic brilliance.
That's right. Like, you can't be an effective leader if you don't understand yourself.
Got to know your blind spots.
Exactly. So
We've covered a lot of ground here.
we have. Like what?
Discipline, planning,
Yeah.
deception, self-awareness.
Right.
But there's one more fascinating piece of Sun Tzu's strategy we need to unpack.
Oh, what's what? There's more.
The use of spies.
Lies.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Spies. Sounds a little cloak and dagger, right?
But yeah, a little bit. Haha.
But remember, Sun Tzu's concept of a spy is broader than you might think.
In what way?
He's really talking about the importance of gathering intelligence. Like understanding all sides of a situation before taking action.
So less about James Bond and more about just being informed.
Exactly.
Okay.
Sun Tzu actually identifies 5 types of spies.
5. Okay, I'm intrigued.
Local, inward, converted, doomed, and surviving.
Wow, okay, and these all had different purposes.
Each plays a unique role in providing a leader with a comprehensive view of the situation.
I see.
Imagine you're trying to make a decision in a complex situation.
Okay.
And maybe you're launching a new product or considering a career change.
Yeah.
Local spies would be like your market research, giving you insights into the overall landscape.
Okay, so understanding the playing field.
Exactly.
Okay, what about inward spies?
Inward spies are those who provide a glimpse inside your competition.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe someone who's already working in that field or company.
So it's about understanding the playing field and the key players.
Precisely. Then you have converted spies. These are like those invaluable mentors or advisors who can offer unique perspective.
Oh, like someone who's banged their shoes before.
Exactly. Okay.
Got it.
Dune spies are a bit more nuanced.
Do spies. That sounds kind of ominous.
They represent the calculated risks you might take, those bold moves that might not pan out, but provide valuable lessons either way.
Oh, I see.
And finally, surviving spies are those who bring back the crucial information you need to make a final decision.
So that's at that final piece of research. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
That makes sense.
It's fascinating how Sun Tzu breaks down something as seemingly complex as espionage into these relatable concepts.
It's true. It's all about good information.
And that brings us to an important point about the art of war that often gets overlooked.
What's that?
It's easy to get caught up in the military terminology and strategic maneuvering.
Yeah, for sure.
But at its core, Sun Tzu's work is about achieving peace, not perpetuating conflict.
I never thought of it like that. While Sun Tzu provides a framework for navigating conflict, his ultimate goal is to help you avoid it whenever possible.
That's a really valuable lesson.
He stresses the importance of choosing your battles wisely, using strategy and diplomacy to achieve your objectives without resorting to unnecessary force.
I like that. It's a good reminder for today's world.
It's a timely reminder, especially in today's world, that true strength lies in knowing when to engage and when to hold back, when to fight, and when to seek a more peaceful resolution.
Absolutely, you've got to pick your battles.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into the art of war, I'm left wondering,
Wondering why?
if Sun Tzu were alive today, what battlefield would he be most fascinated by?
Oh, that is a good question.
Would it be the cutthroat world of business, the complex realm of international relations, or perhaps even the subtle strategies we use in our everyday interactions?
Who knows? But one thing's for sure, his wisdom is definitely still relevant today, no matter what battlefield we find ourselves on.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Sun Tzu's The Art of War. We hope you've gained some valuable insights that you can apply to your own life, whatever your own personal or professional battlefields may be.
It's been fun. Thanks for having me.